Carlos Alcaraz has taken over the tennis world, which has brought about some incredibly wild comparisons and compliments, and one very unique new challenge. So let's start off by seeing what Alcaraz's latest opponent has to say about him. Tennis community's reaction. Carlos Alcaraz is perhaps the biggest name in tennis at the moment. He had a career-defining moment in this year's Wimbledon, where he defeated the legend Novak Djokovic to win the 2023 Wimbledon title. The win ended Djokovic's 34-match winning streak at Wimbledon and secured Alcaraz the #1 spot in the rankings. Alcaraz also became just the second player to defeat Djokovic in the Wimbledon final and the first since 2002 to win the title outside of the Big Four players. And Alcaraz did all of this at just 20 years of age, setting himself up for potentially a legendary career. This has made the tennis world wonder what other superstars and legends have to say about Alcaraz. It's only right that we start off by hearing from the man Alcaraz dethroned, the legendary Novak Djokovic. He had some incredible battles in his tennis career against Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and Andy Murray, and despite facing the cream of the crop, he believes that he has never seen another player quite like Alcaraz. Just take a listen to what Novak has to say.
Ever, to be honest, Roger and Rafa have their own, obviously, strengths and weaknesses, but Carlos is a very complete player, amazing adapting capabilities that I think are a key for longevity and for a successful career on all surfaces.
Novak went on to explain how he believes Alcaraz has successfully taken all the things he, Roger Federer, and Rafael Nadal do well, and has combined it and added his own twist to it. And if that really is the case, then Alcaraz might be on his way to becoming the greatest. Speaking of greatness, it lets you know you're truly special when other legends are disappointed they never got to share the court with you, which seems to be the case with Roger Federer, who expressed his disappointment in a recent interview because he never got to play against Alcaraz. Just take a listen to what Federer had to say.
Yes, of course, it's disappointing. I was never able to play against him. Of course, I watched him closely, what he did at the US Open and throughout the year. It's been fantastic, and I always said there will be always new superstars in the game, and he's one of them.
Now, it must feel nice to get that stamp of approval from one of your childhood heroes. Although Alcaraz never got to play against Federer, he did have a chance to lock horns with his other idol, Rafael Nadal, and not only did he get the best of him, and once Alcaraz won the Wimbledon title, he also got a shout-out from his idol on Instagram. Once translated, the post said, "Congratulations at Carlitos Alcaraz. You have given us immense joy today, and surely our pioneer in Spanish tennis, Manolo Santana, has also been cheering wherever he is as a member of Wimbledon, whom you have joined today. A very strong hug, and enjoy the moment, champion." Now, once you become the man, the #1 in your profession, quickly go from the one hunting to the one being hunted. And Alcaraz is getting his first dose of what that feels like after he was called out to a match by none other than Nick Kyrgios. Kyrgios posted the following story on his Instagram, where he credited Alcaraz for his win, but also said, quote, "He is a force for sure. I would have loved to see how it would have gone down last year when I was healthy and playing lights out. Carlitos Alcaraz, what about next year in your town? We do an exhibition." So exciting times are ahead for all tennis fans if these two end up agreeing on terms, because we are sure the match would be a thriller. But continuing on to other legends, when John McEnroe asked who will dominate the world of tennis after Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic, he only had one name in mind. Just take a listen to what McEnroe had to say.
Hey, this guy Alcaraz is electric.
Is that the next one?
Oh, without a question. This guy's amazing. I mean, if he stays healthy, I mean, it's like...
He looks so powerful.
I've never seen a guy, he's probably a half inch bigger than me, maybe 6 feet, half an inch.
Yeah.
That can do everything at that age, at 19.
Another incredible response came from the legendary Andre Agassi. What makes Agassi's comments truly special, apart from him being one of the greats, is that he was once the coach of Djokovic, and he couldn't help but give it up to the man who beat his former pupil. In an Instagram post, Agassi said the following, quote, "Getting across the finish line at one of the 4 pillars of our sport demands something unique unto itself, something Novak knows over and over at each. Congratulations, Carlos, on the second of 4. You are a pleasure to watch. Another player who has nothing but good things to say about Alcaraz is the American tennis star Andy Roddick. Roddick went as far to say that Alcaraz is the most complete 19-year-old he had ever seen in his life. Just take a listen to what Roddick had to say.
You know, you have to respect the feel, but then you step in, he kind of blows your head off with power. And I'm not a victim of hyperbole, so I'm not saying this just because he won a match today, but I think he's the most complete 19-year-old male tennis player that I've ever seen, right? And Roger didn't win his first major until he was 21. Rafa won at 17, but he wasn't great on all surfaces until he was maybe 20, 21, 22. Alcaraz, there's really no weakness. The backhand used to misfire a little bit more than it does now. He's able to take it line. He used to kind of love the cross court a little bit more, but man, you know, most of us mere mortals, if we're missing some shots to get down in a game.
And when you have tennis legends in awe and flabbergasted by the way you're playing and performing, you know you are doing something right. And that was exactly the reaction of former #1 world tennis player Chris Evert, who was incredibly impressed by Alcaraz's game. Just take a listen to what she had to say.
I'm in awe when I watch him. I'm flabbergasted. I'm just in disbelief as to the gets, you know, how well he moves, how he improvises and adapts to certain situations, how flexible his tool set. I think we're seeing a new level, a higher level of tennis.
Meanwhile, another former #1 world tennis player, Justine Henin, believes that Alcaraz is one of a kind. In an interview with the Belgian newspaper, she said, quote, "In terms of the game, Carlos Alcaraz seems to be more complete than Nadal, Federer, or Djokovic. Even Alcaraz's contemporaries are in awe of just how great he is. Just take, for example, Russian pro Daniil Medvedev, who believes that even getting a single good shot against Alcaraz is nearly impossible. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, you know, with him, if you give him one easy shot, you can be in trouble. Maybe big chances you're gonna get a winner. Even with, let's say, in my opinion, with Novak or Andy, even Rafa, you kind of feel like you can have a chance to get this shot and maybe, but then the thing is that they're gonna have 20 more. With Carlos, maybe you're not going to get this one. It's one shot sometimes.
Now, it is safe to say that no one in the tennis community has anything bad to say about Carlos Alcaraz, and I mean, how could you? Alcaraz has shown nothing but greatness since his ascent, and there seems to be no stopping him as he continues to set new standards in the world of tennis and cement his legacy in the sport. Sooner rather than later, it seems like his name will be said alongside the greatest to ever do it. So if you enjoyed the video, then please give it a like and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell beside it so that you are notified the next time we upload a new video. And with that being said, you just watched us break down what the tennis community really thinks of Carlos Alcaraz. We'll see you next time.